Good morning and welcome to season 2, episode 2. Sorry, it's definitely a later start than I was really expecting to have today. I had some technical difficulties, unfortunately. My computer that I would normally use ran out of system memory. So I had to restart it and it just didn't get a chance to restart in time. So I had to swap over to a different one really quickly and get everything selected and started up there. So I apologize for that. This is kind of I promise at one point I will get better at doing this. Just obviously right now I'm still learning and practicing, so it will eventually get better. I do promise. At some point I will be much better at getting everything started and running on time, and then being able to have everybody show up as well, and have a lot more happening there. So at this point, I do apologize. I wanted to also get the intro in because I felt like the intro was a good new part to the show as well, and I really wanted to make sure that that took effect as well. And I really just wanted to make sure that was happening. I did mess up on the YouTube side again as well. I did put a link in that I wanted to put the stream to, and then I forgot to select it, so it's just creating its whole new one. Again, I will be better at this one day. I'm just not better at it yet. So it is something that is coming along slowly but surely. I do have the chat open today as well, so that will definitely help me with being able to interact a whole lot more as well. So like I said, I just want to give a big apology for the late start and the fact that I'm still not super good at this, even though I've been doing this for a few months now. It's just been kind of the way the morning started, I guess. I should have tried to fix this a little bit more yesterday. But that's one thing I kind of discovered yesterday was I'm not good at keeping my word with myself, and I will fully admit that to everybody right now. I am pretty terrible with it. I do have things that I want to do and get done, but yet I can't seem to hold myself accountable to do any of it. So I do have a couple of accountability groups that I am working with to hold myself more accountable to what I am wanting to get accomplished and done in life. So I'm hoping that will definitely push me more in the right direction of where I want to go as well. And I'm pretty sure it will. It's just a matter of keeping up with accountability. Since COVID has hit and I lost the work that I was doing, it's just a lot of new habits that have to be reformed and rebuilt. And then some old ones that I have to kind of start pushing back further. So it's definitely something, if you've ever heard of the Slight Edge by Jeff Olson or the Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, it's kind of just those things where you just take a couple little steps each day, like 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, 4 step. And then so day one's 1, day 2 is 2, day 3 is 3, stuff like that. And eventually, the good analogy they usually use on that one is typically running a marathon, where you're not just going to go outside the door here and start running a marathon. Instantly, you're going to have to walk the marathon, or walk part of it, and then walk further on it, and then walk further on it. And then eventually you're going to start, once you're able to walk the entire marathon a couple of times, a couple of weeks, then you'll start jogging part of it and then walking it, and then jogging further and then walking less, and then so on and so forth until you can actually run the entire marathon full out. So it's just kind of what I'm going to have to start doing is just trying to iterate little pieces and make sure I can actually get everything up and running properly, 1 step at a time. Like I said, I'm just a lot of new things I'm having to push into effect, and I'm just not very good at it because I haven't really held anyone to my accountability group, and I haven't held myself accountable, and I haven't taken full responsibility on it. So this is me doing so right now. I am taking responsibility on the fact that I have let things slide. I hope you take accountability and responsibility as well, but that is me right now, taking the full accountability and responsibility on where things are, how things have been. Like I said, all I can do is just apologize for the technical issues. I wasn't expecting that, but I should have been able to foresee technical issues because I've had them before, and I should have been able to work with it last night to get it up and running and fix that better, so that way it wouldn't be happening frequently, or at least as frequently as it normally does. And I thought I kind of thought I had it figured out, but I kind of did a couple things to make sure everything was working, and then I went to bed without checking it. And then I woke up this morning to everything kind of frozen up. So that was definitely on me. I should have held myself more accountable and looked and kept going at what we were looking at trying to get done. And that yeah, completely on me. So now that I've gotten me throwing myself on the sword out of the way for the issues and everything that we have suffered throughout the show, like I said, it's totally on me. Trying to run a one-man show on it all isn't easy, but at the same time, I do have things I could be doing to make it easier on myself. Today as well, I also had an option of where I wanted to present something, but obviously I'm not going to be able to do that quite as well at this point just because of I didn't prepare, because I didn't hold myself accountable and I didn't take responsibility on it. So next week, though, I will definitely have something for you. So this week, we're just going to talk about a little about responsibility and taking ownership of yourself and of your outcomes and circumstances. So that's kind of where we're going today. We're also building a community through a Discord channel as well. So I will start providing more information on that as time comes along as well. I'm still working on a few little pieces to make sure everything looks good and feels good for everybody. And I will provide that information probably starting next week as well as to how you can find that and how you can join and where you can kind of keep talking with us afterwards, which will be a lot of fun. I think a lot of people will probably enjoy it. We're going to build this great, vibrant community. The business I'm working with, we're also going to start building people into that as well, which will have a special section for that. And we'll have more information where people can kind of ask for more information on different things, be able to ask questions and get different help and be able to find all the links to the videos and everything really easily because everything will just be kind of right there. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be really cool. And we're going to have some, we're going to look at some more community engagement and just try to build a really good, vibrant community around people who are wanting to become better and look at getting their lives to a point where they are happy and fulfilled. So for today, we also have a weather update for my area. I don't know about anyone else's because I have to find a way of making that happen a lot better as well. Here, apparently, we are in for rain. I thought we were gonna have a nice day because when I got home from helping out my parents at their laundromat, I was like, oh, sweet, blue skies. We should hopefully be nice tomorrow. Like there's only a couple clouds in the sky, no big deal. It's gonna get up. It's gonna enjoy some sunshine. And woke up today and it's cloudy and it looks like it's going to rain, and not just rain a little, but rain a lot. So it is what it is. I can't control the weather, so I don't really care. It's just means I can stay inside and get things better prepared for next week and a few other things I need to get prepared as well. So one thing I did manage to take a lot better care of was the next episode of Trail Tale, which comes out at 9 p.m. Pacific tonight. I was able to get that up and scheduled as well. So you can check that out on YouTube and Facebook. And later it'll be on LinkedIn and Instagram as well. I just don't have a way of scheduling it up there, which is too bad. Actually, for LinkedIn, I probably do just Instagram at this point. I don't think I could make it happen. I'd have to find a proper program to make it work and then put it into the thing. But I'm not too worried about being able to post the IGTV as a scheduled thing. It literally takes me 2 seconds because I've already downloaded everything. I have everything written up that I want to put up. I just need to basically copy and paste and put it up there. So I've made some progress on that side again. Whereas before I was like weeks and weeks and weeks ahead. Now I'm only about a week ahead, but I have another one that I want to do. So which I'm going to try to get done in the next 2 days to have it up and shared as well and scheduled. And if you want to be able to get early access to a lot of the stuff, you can go to patreon.com/Eldorado, which I have up in the chats as well. And you can actually get early access to it at the $5 level, which also gets you a free sticker, just so you know. So yeah, if you want to be able to get early access to Trail Tale, and then we're looking at getting some early access to a few other things as well. There'll be a little other things put up, also some little hidden gems, which will be pretty awesome. And then that also gets you the levels will get you special access in the Discord server once we have it kind of up and running and finalized a lot better. It'll have you basically it'll give you some access and some information to the Discord channel under the RH Studios channel, which will be pretty sweet, or the category, which will be pretty awesome. So you'll be able to go in and talk and discuss different things for that, and then give suggestions for the show through there as well, which will be pretty sweet. I also have some other things that will be coming up as well for that. So like I said, the weather looks like it's going to be kind of rainy. Today I've got some training things I got to take care of for myself so I can better fulfill what I want to get done business-wise as well. And I am also looking at trying to get a hold of somebody who was supposed to get a hold of me yesterday that was supposed to let me know about tires that were supposed to be available for my car. So we're going to be looking at doing that as well. So if you see my latest blog post on rob-hicks.com/blog, you will see that I have a new one up called Community as well. Sorry, I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but community is really big and important, especially when you're trying to do things during kind of a semi-lockdown for most of the world, where we're all sort of come out of this pandemic. So being able to build a community and then be able to maintain in the thriving communities as well. And I found that streaming has built, actually being able to do live streams, it has built quite a community for themselves for a lot of different streamers. Hence part of the reason why I'm doing this as well, and providing different links and everything for myself to be able to find me and where I am at. And if you want to hang out or hit me up afterwards for chats or anything like that, there's some of the information there through social media. And that's part of why I'm doing this as well, is because I want to help build a very vibrant and awesome community, and hence the starting of a Discord server as well, because I want to be able to provide more community and more access to information that I think will really help people out, and be able to provide clips and shows and things. I know I can do it all over social media, but I would prefer having a little bit more control over how some of it goes, not because I'm a control freak, but just because I want to be able to sort it out and organize it a lot better, and then be able to, I guess, kind of advertise to the social media, which is more of what I feel like it's starting to be geared to, especially the Facebook side of it is more geared towards just, at least for me, because I'm not very trustworthy of Facebook. I don't really trust some of the stuff that they're doing, especially with a lot of the scandals they've had and a lot of the data breaches and things. But that's just me personally. I'm just not their biggest fan, so I just try to use them more of a marketing tool to push me out there, to show, hey, this is what I'm doing. Hey, this is what I want to do with you, and this is what could be done for you. Like whatever your issue is, we could probably figure out a way of solving it together. So it's just a matter of using that medium as a way of, I guess, advertising in its own little way, without providing a lot of information from me on a personal side, because I don't use my personal side of Facebook very much anymore. I basically have used it lately to search out tires and search out possible new computer monitors for my son. That's basically been pretty much all I've been really looking at doing with it the last while. And I think I found the tires. So I'm hoping to hear from that guy today as to how I can go and get them and how much they are, which will be pretty awesome, because I do need some better tires than what I'm running right now. And then the monitors, just because I only have like a little 4x3 monitor for him for his laptop in his room. So you can have the dual displays as well if you would like. And that way, if he wants, he can hang out in his room and watch shows with a bigger screen. So I'm going to try and see if I can find him something that's fairly inexpensive and works fairly well for him. So that way he can just hook it up and use it. And that way I can get my bigger TV back for when I would like to use it, if I decide to use it more. Well, that's not true. I do use it quite a bit, because I do have my computer go up onto it. I do like watching movies late at night, after hopefully after I've gotten most of everything done, which is how we're going to try to start running everything. Is I'm going to try and get everything done before I take the relaxation time around 9:30, 10 o'clock. I'm going to try and get most of it done. And then some of the more creative things, I can at least have the show on and be able to work on things like editing the captions for Trail Tale, getting it loaded up, and then getting it shared out as well. I can do those at night while I'm watching a show or a movie with my oldest, which will work out fine. I didn't get anything for good news from anybody, which is too bad, but that's all right. So some good news that I can think of. The only thing I had for good news was really finding the tires. If I can just hear back from the guy, I know he's been pretty swamped. So he said once he gets a chance to, he'll get to his C cannon. He said he's already got the tires kind of picked out. He's just going to let me know what the cost is and where I can go pick them up. So back to the tires. I realize that, but it's just really exciting for me. So I'm going to once again take better responsibility on trying to find some of that good news as well and be able to share it out a lot more. I feel with a lot of things going on in the world, that a little bit more positivity will be great. like John Krasinski's Good News Network that he had on YouTube there for quite a while. I know he received some backlash for having to sell it, but honestly, I mean, once things started lifting and he could go back to working on, probably Jack Ryan and the movies he's got going on, it made sense for him to have to drop it. He even said like it was a lot of work during that time because it was basically a one-man production trying to get it all done. So it does take time in a lot of cases, especially with his production value, which didn't look like a lot, but it was definitely more than mine because he was obviously pre-recording a lot of it and then putting it out, where I'm just doing mine live, and then it's kind of obviously, as you can see, hoping for the best because I don't have a lot of what I would like to have come up. So it's just a matter of running with what I've got because I like doing these live. So it is kind of how that one rolls, and I'll still do better for you next time. I've also been reading a new book called Stop It, which is by Michael Hutchinson and Jeff Levitan. Jeff Levitan is somebody I really quite look highly up to because I've seen him speak a few times, and he's just a really powerful speaker. And the last time I seen him speak at an event, he actually revealed that his youngest son is autistic, which really spoke a lot to me. Just because if you've been following me for any time, my youngest son is autistic as well. And he was talking about some of the trials and tribulations they were going through to get some of the therapies and things for his son, which really spoke a lot to me. And the two main differences, well, there's more than two, but the two really big ones that, it's more just one big difference is where he's at in life and where I'm at in life. He has more money to be able to provide for more therapy and more care for him to be able to get him further along than what I'm able to. Basically, I got to rely on being more interactive. Well, actually, I love being interactive with my son, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I really enjoy talking to him. He really busts out new things like every so often, and it just blows my mind. I wish I could remember what it was. I think it was on, I want to say Sunday or Monday. He threw something at me, and I was just like, oh my goodness, like just verbally, and I was just like, it caught me off guard because the way he said it just was like kind of like an atypical kid. Like it was just like the phrasing was just funny. It's just something it's like I don't think so, Dad, or something like that. It was just it caught me off guard. I just chuckled and gave him a big hug and said, "Okay, kid, not a problem. We just we won't do that. No big deal." So that's kind of the big difference is he's got more money to be able to throw at this solution to try and develop his son a lot more than what I do. So I have to rely on inexpensive solutions and just providing more of my time to him, which is, like I said, it's fantastic. It's just, I wish I had the money to throw at some other things for him to be able to help him out more. Like I have a therapy kind of swing over here for him, which he does use. I wish I could provide a bit better of one, but this one works out really well, and he loves it a lot. There are a few other things I wish I could just kind of get for him, but we make do. We just do what we can with what we have at this point. So it's working out just kind of like we're doing everywhere else here. So but that's anyway. Where was I going with that? Oh, right, because I found that connection with him. He doesn't know I have that connection with him, but I do have that connection with him. It's because of our sons being autistic that I really grew to enjoy a lot more of what he was talking and what he was presenting to people because of that. And I just made that really good connection, and I really like hearing him speak. He's humorous. He makes very valid points, and he's just a very powerful speaker without being too exuberant and overboard, and just not really putting a lot of what I feel like is ego that you see a lot of people speaking into. And he's just kind of speaking from the heart and just speaking to people and just saying, hey, this is where I'm at. This is what's happening. And it's just really heartwarming and really nice to see. And so anyway, I'm reading this book, and it's really good. It just kind of gives you 7 ideas on how to stop doing different things. I just started it again, so I couldn't tell you what they exactly are. I do know it's based off a old Paul Newman skit, I think is what it was, where it's actually called Stop It, and they actually have a link to the YouTube video for that one as well. I wish I was more on the ball because I would provide you with the YouTube link for it as well if you would like to watch it. I think it's really a great video as well. It's funny, and it makes some very valid points through satire as well. Basically, the idea is he's a psychiatrist, and he charges by the minute, and his sessions typically last no more than 5 minutes. And a lady comes in, and He gives her the explanation, and then he gives them her problem, and he just tells her to stop it. It's pretty much as simple as that. And for a lot of different things, it's a lot of it's pretty simple. Like especially hers is like very weird. Like I like getting buried alive. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I would fear that too if it had happened to me at one point. But it's not even something I can even fathom because I've never been buried alive. So I'm like, I don't ever think about it, so I don't really exactly fear it. But I mean, if somebody were to attempt to bury me alive, I would definitely probably be a lot more scared, and I would definitely be fearful of it, and then I would probably have some issues with it afterwards. Probably a lot of issues with it afterwards, but it's never happened, so it's not something I think about. One of the things I do have a fear of is heights. I'm not sure why. The only thing I can think of is when I was really little, I fell off a bunk bed and broke a collarbone. I also fell down when I was even younger than that, because I was probably about 4 when that happened. And I was younger than that when I tripped and fell down an entire flight of stairs and broke that same collarbone. So I was probably about 2 maybe when that one had happened. So, I mean, there are some things where I've fallen off of things and fallen some heights. So that might be coming from that. I'm like, I don't have a problem going up into an airplane. It's literally if I'm standing on the roof of my house and kind of look over the edge, that kind of gives me some vertigo, and I'm not really too big on that whole idea. So I'm not sure exactly where that comes from, but I think that's probably the 2 possible reasons as to where I have that. But I don't know. I try to kind of get over it, but I'm, I guess, more cautious when I come closer to edges, but I am definitely the one thing. So I just kind of avoid big edges where I'm possibly going to fall. But there's a funny story on that, and I will have to share it another time because we are up on our time for the day. Anyway, the story is about the Luxor in Vegas. And anyway, quickly, I was walking along. We're up on the 22nd floor, and they have pretty good size railings. They're probably about 4 feet high, maybe a little bit more. And I was walking along in the middle of the hall. I tripped, and my brain automatically went, "You're going over the rail. You're about to die." And I had a small panic attack. But then I caught myself like in the middle of the hall, stood back up, and was like, "Oh my god! Like, what was that all about?" I'm like, why did my brain want to go there? Like instantly, I was about to fall over this 4-foot high railing. I was like, solid for one. And I'm in the middle of the hall. I'm like, the likelihood of me going from here to way over here and over the edge and plummeting 22 stories or whatever it was is just like ridiculous. Like that was never probably, like the likelihood of that happening is probably like 1 in a billion happening. But my brain is like grabbed that idea from out of nowhere, and I literally had like a small panic attack. But I can laugh about it now because it was really ridiculous. Like the whole concept that my brain pulled on that was like, even right after I was laughing pretty hard when I went back into my room. My wife at the time, I was talking to her, and she laughed. I laughed. I'm like, it was just such a ridiculous scenario in my head that I don't even know how it came to that. But everyone had a good chuckle about it. I still have a good chuckle about it because it was just so ridiculous that my brain just picked this one idea like that, and it just ran this whole scenario like super quick as I just tripped over nothing in the middle of this hall. And yeah, it was probably a good solid 3 feet away from this 4.5 foot wall that I would have fallen over. So your brain can really definitely play tricks on you, and that was definitely one of the ones that played on me a few years ago. So the fact that I can laugh about it and just joke about it, it's obviously something that doesn't really bother me quite as much anymore. Like heights still do, like I still can't be up on my roof and at the edge. Most roofs I can't be up on the sides or on the edges. I can get up there, I just don't like being up there. So I try to avoid being up on my roof too much. But on a ladder hanging like Christmas light stuff is usually not too bad because I'm concentrating on trying to get that done, and then I can just climb back down. In that kind of case, I just don't look down, which is pretty simple, right? So anyway, that was the story. So we are coming up. It is now 20 to 7 a.m. Pacific time. So I am going to color an episode, being that we're almost at the full 26-minute mark now. So I want to say thank you for coming and joining me this morning. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. I hope you come back for more. I promise by next week we will start having more segments and better stuff coming up as well. I just didn't prepare myself for this week, even though I gave myself most of last week to prepare for this week. I still did not do it, and I take full ownership on that bad boy, and I will make every effort to not let that happen again. Like I said, it's just a lot of habits that are having to be built and reformed that are definitely taking some time, and I'm not perfect with it. So I am working on the accountability aspect of it all as well to make sure I am bringing the best I can. Like I said, I enjoy this. I had a lot of fun. So I look forward to seeing you Tuesday morning, as we are only doing this twice a week now. So it'll be Tuesdays and Thursdays where we have morning coffee. And just so that way I can concentrate on some other things that I need to get concentrated on in my world. So I can still bring you this, and I can still concentrate on what I need to get concentrated on. And I can be more capable and more productive with everybody and everything, and be able to provide the best for you and provide the best for my family and provide the best for what I need as well. So I hope you had a good time. I know I did. I will see you Tuesday morning at 6 a.m. Pacific, and I look forward to having coffee with you again. All right, everyone, I hope you all have a great day. I will talk to you all later. Have a great one. Bye.